Well, welcome back to Kingdom Business Network. Once again, I'm your host, Dr. Jonathan Vorse. I'm thrilled and excited to have you here with us today. And on this program, Kingdom Business Network, we always try to interview Christian businesses or people that are involved in the ministry. We do like people involved in the ministry, but we really are more bent toward Christian businesses. And that's because we see our businesses as platforms for ministry in the community. We call that marketplace ministries. We have a great person here with us today. I've known Berona Ball for a long time. In fact, she went to school. She's my daughter's best friend. They went to college together. And so I've known her for many years. And she works for a great company here in this area called Gulfside Healthcare Services. Now, this is one of these unique businesses that is like a business and also a ministry, and everybody knows that. A lot of times people don't know that about a Christian business, but everybody knows that. And so I want to welcome her to the program today, and we're going to hear today about what they do. Welcome, Berona.
Thank you, Pastor. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
All right. It's great to have you, and we love you and your family and everybody, Ivy and Silas and
Yes.
BJ. It's great having you today.
Yes.
As we get going, I just wanted to share this book with you also. This is our offer today. This book is a book that I wrote a few years back, and it's my largest work to date. We have a college course that goes along with it. It's over 400 pages, but it's a book on community chaplaincy. It's called The Ministry of Presence. And I thought that this book would be fitting today for our subject because there is actually chapter 38 talks about ministering to people that are terminally ill. And part of actually it started as Gulfside started as a hospice thing. And so let's talk a little bit about, tell us a little bit more about Gulfside and the services and whatnot that you offer.
So Gulfside actually started in 1988 as a hospice company. They went in and would take care of people that had 6 months or less to live. It then transferred into palliative care and home care even. So people with chronic illnesses and things like that, just to help medicate them and get them to where they can live their life to the fullest. And then also with home care, going into their homes and taking care of them, whether they're in a hospice position or just a rehabilitative position.
Right. So, so what kind of care do they provide? Like if someone goes into hospice there or in a palliative situation, does people come to their homes, or do you have places where they go?
Yes. So both actually. So we have two inpatient care centers.
Okay.
And we're actually about to grow another one. We just opened up in Hillsborough County. And so we're super excited about that. Currently we're just in Pasco and Pinellas. And, but we just opened up in that area as well. And then, yes, we have the inpatient care centers, but we also do go into the homes, and into the hospitals as needed, just to kind of merge them into that position, what the next step of their care.
So I want to ask you a question. It's like a pastoral question. Imagine that, right?
Yeah.
but I want to ask you a question. Do you see this as more than just a job, like a ministry?
Yes, I do.
Let's talk to that about now.
Yeah.
Obviously, that can only happen if you give your life to Christ, right?
Absolutely.
So we always like to ask everybody, what about your salvation story? Tell us about when you gave your life to Christ.
So, it's a little long story. I'm gonna try and make it short, but, I actually was born into church. My parents are Christians and raised me up in that way. So I always knew God. I knew that He was there. I knew that He was a part of my life, and I was always very welcomed to that idea. As I grew up and life went on, of course, life happens and a whole lot of things, kind of pour onto a person in that sense. Right. I grew up and kind of stirred away a little bit. I got hurt by people and churches and things like that, and not from God. He didn't hurt me personally or anything like that, but it was just people hurt, and I had to figure out how to deal with that.
Right.
And so I kind of streamed away from church and that religious side of it. I struggled with that a lot. And it wasn't until I hit my rock bottom. I went through a divorce, and I realized really quickly I wasn't the woman that I wanted to be. And as you know, because you're Susie's dad, she poured a lot into me. And I would look at her even and just be like, that's more of what I want to look like. And I'm definitely not there. And so I struggled a lot. And so I started seeking after God, and I just began to pray about what my life was going to look like. If I was going to even get remarried again, I was like, man, I just went through a really, really tough divorce. And do I do that? And all the things with that, what kind of woman I want to be, and mom I would want to be in the future, and all the things. And so it actually really wasn't until later in life where I really fully connected and said, okay, God, I surrender. And my husband now, Barabbas, and I were already married, we were not married. We were dating, and we were in a church in Ohio. And I was in a place where I was on my face in the altar. And I decided at that moment, I said, God, I'm done. I'm done trying to figure it out myself. I'm done trying to play off this life like I'm in control, because I'm not. And I decided at that moment that I was going to surrender everything, just give it all. I'm not holding on to it anymore. I'm gonna let him take it all over. And that was in February of 2018. And that changed my whole world. It's changed my whole aspect of life. I mean, the joy that came in really just ignited within me. And all of that was simply just because I said, okay, I'm done. I'm over it. And I'm done with the trauma and all the things that I was struggling with. And so that was it.
At that moment is when God moved you out of religion into relationship.
Right. Absolutely.
Religion is a theological understanding of God minus the experience. You know about God, but you don't know God.
Right.
And so to him, to the religious, it's a list of do's and don'ts. Okay, well, if things stack up right, then that's fine. And if they don't, then I guess I'm not. No, that's religion. But you came into a relationship with the Lord, and ministry grows out of relationship. A passion for stuff like Gulfside healthcare services and all of that stuff. That's why it becomes a ministry to us.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Obviously, a ministry like this in the community, a marketplace ministry, loves the community. They reach out to the community, and I know you guys do that.
Yes.
So can you talk to us a little bit about what you do when you're reaching to the community?
Yeah, so the beautiful thing about the company is that we do focus in Pasco, Pinellas, and Hillsborough County, and anybody in those counties can come to our company and they can say, hey, my insurance isn't covering the care that I need.
Wow.
Or I don't even have insurance. Can you help me? And we give it all. We pay for everything. They pay for absolutely nothing out of pocket. And that is the beautiful thing about what we do, because so many wouldn't have the opportunities to either die in dignity or have their loved ones taken care of the way that they need to be taken care of if it wasn't for the finances and the help that we give and even programs that we offer.
Financial pressure is real.
100%.
And a lot of people out there, especially those that are not wealthy at all, the Bible said the poor will always have with us, and we need to do whatever we can to be a blessing to them. So when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the ways that you raise money to do this, and the ways that you can assist people. And there are things close to you that can be a blessing to you, and you can help as well. I want to remind you once again of this book. It is The Ministry of Presence, a guidebook for chaplains, first responders, and healthcare workers. It's a book that the Lord poured through me. There's a big story about how it came about. But if you haven't gotten this book, then just pick it up on Amazon. You'll see how to do that on the bottom of your screen. Well, we'll be right back after this message. God bless. Hello, friends. I'm Jonathan Vorse, and I want to invite you today to become a partner with Kingdom Business Network. Here at Kingdom Business Network, we unite businesses who are driven by the calling of the Great Commission. We believe that the Word will work if you work the Word. Therefore, we explore biblical business principles that attack lack and attract prosperity. By being involved in missions, evangelistic endeavors, and humanitarian efforts, we seek to leave a mark for God on this world that cannot be erased. If it matters to God, it should matter to us. So I want to invite you today to use your resources and your influence and your skills and your talents that the Lord has given you to join with Kingdom Business Network and help us reach the world with the message of the gospel. At Kingdom Business Network, we are more than just a media ministry. We're a movement, a community, a global stage. By partnering with us, you are aligning yourself with other ministries that transcend profits and create impact upon our world today. So I want to invite you to join us in this thrilling journey. Become a KBN partner today. By accessing the link below, you can choose which level of partnership you would like to be involved in. Thank you so much, and we look forward to partnering with you for the work of the gospel. Well, welcome back, and thank you for watching that. And we're going to continue our discussion with Berona Ball here, who is, what's your job title?
So I'm the volunteer and store manager.
Volunteer and store manager where you are working. So we're talking about today Gulfside Health Services. And if you watched the last segment, you heard her say that they have the ability to offer for free hospice services and things like that, which we all know is not free, and somebody pays for that. And but then you have the responsibility to raise the funds to do that. So let's talk about how you raise the funds that's needed to assist the patients.
Absolutely. So we have multiple ways that we raise funds. Of course, donations are always accepted, whether it's going on to the website and donating money from there. Also, we have fundraisers that they do throughout the year. They actually have one coming up, and it is a casino night. So they bring in a whole bunch of different games and things, and you go in and you play the games, and it all goes to hospice care. So it's just a fun night to get out. Right. We also have 4 thrift stores, which is where I come in. And so we have 4 thrifts. So
you have 4 of them?
Yes, there's 4.
Okay,
yeah.
Where are they located so they can go?
Absolutely. So we have the one that I work at is in Hudson. It's right down the road here. We also have one in Newport Richey.
Where at in Hudson?
It's on the corner of 19 and 52.
Okay.
Yep. Same plaza as Ollie's.
Okay. Okay.
And then we have one in Newport Richey, and then we have the one in Dade City and one in Zephyr Hills.
Okay.
So with those, how that works is the thrift shops are completely nonprofit. So we have people from the community bring in donations every single day, and we go in and we price everything and we put it on our sales floor, and whatever sells from our store will go toward the hospice care. And so each store does that, and it's a huge impact to our community. Without those, we wouldn't be in a detrimental state in that sense of not being able to help, but it does make a huge impact for the ability for us to help.
Okay, so if they want to see you and say hi to you, which store would they need to go to?
They would need to go to the Hudson store.
The Hudson store.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you guys also help a segment of our community that is near and dear to my heart that I love, and that I've been involved with raising money for them throughout the years, both politically and not politically, and that's our veterans. So can you talk a little bit about what Gulfside does for our veterans?
So we do represent them very well. I know we have multiple projects that we do throughout the year. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a whole lot about the details of those, but we do have those available, and you can definitely figure out more about that, whether through our website or the number that is given.
Okay, and then you have grief support services.
Yes, that one I do know a little bit more about.
Okay.
It actually is a little bit more personal for me right now. I actually just lost my dad in August last year, and we do offer the grief counseling and services like that, bereavement counseling things. And we have those areas. There's a location in Newport Richey where you can go and get grief counseling. And there's also an East location as well. I believe it's at the Rucky Center, but I'm not quite sure about that location.
Okay, and then you have down here too something I wanted to ask you about. Animal visits, music, and art.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that. I mean, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. So actually, there's a pet pageant that's coming up. That's like in the process right now. You go and take pictures of your pet, and they and you enter in. So you pay a little fee to enter your pet in, and they people go and they vote for the pet of which one's the prettiest, I guess. So we do that. But they also have things like fashion shows. Like those are the types of fundraisers they do, fashion shows and like kind of crafty night type stuff. So very, very fun. They also have an event that they do every year, and I forget what it is called right now off the top of my head. But they have it's like a block party, and they have the music and all the
music and
food trucks and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So obviously, and the reason I'm talking to you about all this is because I want you to see, those are our viewers, that there's a place for you to be involved. I mean,
100%.
You can help them to be involved. And so with that said, maybe you can't give financially, or maybe you can, or maybe you can't. I mean, cleaning out your closet, who hasn't done that? And
right.
And you're one of the places that, don't give God your junk. But one man's junk, I guess, is another man's treasure.
It is. It's true.
But there's also opportunities for them to be involved if they want to volunteer.
Yes, there are.
Right? Can we talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So there's two sides of the volunteering. You can either volunteer on the medical side of it, whether you go and sit with a patient and just keep them company. Anybody that has like a medical background, or even if you don't have a medical background, it's not required. You can sit and just be a friend and be just somebody to kind of give companionship to them. So that's one way. The other way would be through the thrift shops, which I will say a huge shout out to all of my volunteers. My store and all of the stores wouldn't run without them. So you can come in, you can do something as simple as organizing some product on a shelf, bringing in those donations and pricing things, anything like that. It doesn't have to be big. Any amount of time is helpful. I have volunteers that come in for 1 hour, and I have volunteers that stay a whole day. So it really just depends on the availability of the person that's volunteering. But man, if I cannot shout out enough how much my volunteers have impacted my store personally. And especially with me fairly being a new store manager, I was an assistant manager, and I've been promoted. And so seeing more so firsthand even how I work, so closely to them, and how much they give so willingly and freely of their time is amazing.
So I'm going to put you on the hot spot since you're in the hot seat.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you a question that I didn't prepare you for, because it just kind of came to me, and I feel like we need I need to ask this question. During the time that you've worked there, is there kind of a scenario or a situation that stands out to you where what you guys are doing made such a difference in someone's life, or maybe their family that was around them, or something like that sticks out to you, something that kind of made you say, wow, this really is ministry. This is, you understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, absolutely.
So can you share a story very quickly here?
Yes.
We just have a couple of minutes left.
Absolutely. So really, there's not one particular person, but there's a whole lot of them.
Of course.
I have people that come to me daily, and they bring in donations from lost loved ones. And I have to try not to get emotional, but seeing them, they'll come in and they'll say, I just lost my mom, or I just lost my dad. And me also going through that recently, it hits home. But they say, I appreciate you because your company came in and they helped and they took care of them and they really loved on them. And they're just so grateful for the things that they do. And they thank us all the time. And those moments I get those reminders constantly, and it does remind me why I'm there and what we're doing this for.
So one last question. What is the best thing in your view of working for Gulfside?
Honestly, it's giving back. It's more than maybe.
Great answer.
Yeah, it's more than being a store manager or a manager of a thrift shop. It's genuinely being able to help provide that care for those people who just don't have it, and seeing the impact that we do make on our community is just absolutely huge for me personally, but also to our company. And it's just so much. I love it. And there's nothing in me that doesn't love what I do.
Right. And I've known you for a long time. And even you said, even before we got started, you said, I'm kind of loud and things like that. Well, you are, but that's how God wired you. That's how God made you, kind of like a little bit of a take charge person. That's probably why you're the manager now. But I can tell you guys that's watching here, you won't find a bigger heart in the world. Brianna's got a big heart. She loves God. She loves people. And she really, 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 she's in it for the right reasons. And I haven't met your bosses or the people that own the place or anything like that, but they made a great choice when they chose you.
Thank you.
All right. Kudos, girl. All right. We are going to be coming back after this message, and we'll talk for just a few more minutes. God bless you. Thanks for watching.
Part of what we do in hospice care is help patients and families plan their final days. And in doing so, we provide them with dignity and the empathy and care that they deserve.
Gulfside made me feel like I did have family. I didn't have family here to help me, but they became my family and helped me through a very difficult time.
The fact that we're taking care of people in their last stages of life, that we get to be there and hold their hand, it is a tremendous honor.
Well, thank you for coming back, and thank you, Brianna, for being with us and for talking to us about Gulfside Healthcare Services. And I know that probably the people that are your bosses and whatnot are going to be watching this program. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for, first of all, for what you're doing to help people. And thank you for giving people like us the opportunity to be involved with what you do. We're promoting today this book that I wrote a few years back called The Ministry of Presence. It's my largest work. My uncle was the founder of the International Fellowship of Chaplains years and years ago. He trained thousands of chaplains throughout the years, like around 40 years ago. And I had the privilege and the honor to travel with him and to train chaplains. And we trained them all over the nation, and he traveled internationally. I was still pastoring, so it was hard to travel internationally. But then when we took over Covenant University 5.5 years ago, I was thrilled to see that there was a segment in the biblical counseling track, 3 months worth of training on chaplaincy. Wow. So I began to look at it, and I thought, wow, this needs to be dressed up a little bit. And so I began to look at it, and was able to take all of the stuff that I had learned throughout the years with chaplaincy, and then what they had, and kind of combine it and put it together. And this book was born, and we rewrote the curriculum and redid, and we actually offer a chaplaincy course now. And you can see where we offer it there on the bottom of the screen. So if you wanted to do 3 months of training, and that would qualify you to apply for a chaplaincy credential through Covenant University. And if you wanted to do that, then we could help you with that. Covenant University's been around since 1998. But in this book, there is a couple of chapters here toward the end, caring for the terminally ill. And then there's another chapter here, understanding the grief patterns and whatnot. And there are lists in here like how to offer the support, how to minister to someone maybe that has cancer. And so the different things like that because they're terminally ill. And then evaluating the spiritual well-being of the patient. They're getting ready to go to their eternal reward, but what's the right way to talk to them? What's the wrong way to talk to them? I mean, you can't go in there and say turn or burn. I mean, that's very disrespectful, and it'll shut them down. And the Bible said it's the goodness of God that draws men to repentance. So
Absolutely.
through the love and through the care, maybe if you ask the Lord to help you, that opportunity will open up, and you'll be able to minister to them and talk to them about where they will spend their eternity. Even have a little section in here when an atheist is terminally ill.
Oh, wow.
What to do when you have someone like that. And then a section on transitioning and what happens when they're dying and different things like that. And so all of that has to do with hospice, and you're ministering to that person, but you're also ministering to everyone that's in that room.
Absolutely.
And it's at that time when you can really feel the presence of God. Just, people say, well, the angels came and ushered them away, and, and things like that. But you can feel the presence of God. So, if you feel that you'd like to know more about that, this is for chaplains, first responders, and healthcare workers. I wrote it for all of them. All right. Do you have this book?
I don't have that book.
You do now.
Well, thank you.
All right. Well, God bless you. We love you. We're so thankful that you're part of what we're doing. Kingdom Business Network is about seeing our businesses as platforms for ministry. We want to let the light of Jesus shine brightly in our community. Would you consider partnering with us today? We do have to pay for the airtime, and every little bit helps. Thank you so much for what you do. Until next time, this is Dr. Vorse and Brianna saying the word will work if you work the word. God bless you.
If you would like to become a partner of Jonathan Vorse Ministries, please go to our website at jonathanvorse.com. Or to become a member of Kingdom Business Network, go to kingdombusinessnetwork.com. Sign up for your free ebook, 10 Keys to God's Miracle Working Power at jonathanvorse.com. This program has been brought to you by the friends and partners of Jonathan Vorse Ministries Incorporated, a 501c3 nonprofit corporation. Thank you for joining us today.
Part of what we do in hospice care is help patients and families plan their final days. And in doing so, we provide them with dignity and the empathy and care that they deserve.
Gulfside made me feel like I did have family. I didn't have family here to help me, but they became my family and helped me through a very difficult time.
The fact that we're taking care of people in their last stages of life, that we get to be there and hold their hand, it is a tremendous honor.